Have you ever woken up in the morning, taken a deep breath, and thought, I'm not as steady on my feet as I used to be? Or maybe you've noticed your energy isn't what it once was. Those little tasks that used to feel effortless now leave you winded. Friends, if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many of us over 60 start to wonder, is this just part of getting older, or is there something I can do about it? Well, here's the truth. Aging doesn't have to mean surrendering your vitality or independence. In fact, most of the health challenges we associate with old age aren't inevitable at all. They're often the result of risks we can spot early and avoid. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 biggest threats to living a long, healthy life after 75, and more importantly, how to outsmart them. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I've already made it this far. Why worry? Here's why. The choices we make today, what we eat, how we move, even how we think, are like seeds. Plant the right ones now, and they'll grow into years of strength, clarity, and joy down the road. So let's start with the first challenge, one that's silently responsible for more loss than almost anything else. Let's talk about your heart. Not the emotional kind, though that's important too, but the actual muscle keeping you alive. Heart disease is still the #1 cause of death after 75. But here's what most people miss. It's not a surprise attack. It's a slow burn shaped by decades of tiny choices. Think of your arteries like garden hoses. Over time, if you let junk pile up inside, processed foods, too much salt, unhealthy fats, they get stiff and clogged. Your heart has to work overtime just to push blood through. And here's the kicker. You won't feel it happening. No warning bells, no pain, until one day you're short of breath, climbing stairs, or facing a scary diagnosis. But here's the good news. Your heart is resilient. Start today by giving it the fuel it craves. Swap that packaged snack for a handful of walnuts or blueberries. They're packed with nutrients that keep arteries flexible. And movement? It doesn't have to be a marathon. A 20-minute walk after dinner, some gentle stretching while you watch the news. That's how you keep the blood flowing and your heart strong. Oh, and don't forget to check your blood pressure regularly. It's like a secret window into your heart's health, and catching a problem early can literally save your life. Now let's talk about something that catches so many of us off guard. Falls. You might think, I've been walking for decades. How hard could it be? But here's the thing. As we age, our balance and muscle strength quietly slip away. That throw rug you've had for years, suddenly it's a hazard. That dim hallway you've navigated 1,000 times? One misstep could change everything. I'll never forget my neighbor, Helen. At 78, she was sharp as a tack, still volunteering at the library every week. Then one rainy morning, she slipped on her porch steps. A broken hip led to surgery, which led to weeks in bed, and she never fully bounced back. What's heartbreaking is how preventable it was. So let's be proactive. First, strengthen your legs. Try this. While brushing your teeth, stand on one foot for 10 seconds, hold the counter if needed, then switch. It's simple, but it builds the stability you need to stay steady. Next, audit your home. Tape down rug corners, add nightlights in dark hallways, and please wear shoes indoors, not socks. And if you're on medications that make you dizzy, talk to your doctor. A small adjustment could be a lifesaver. Friends, here's what I want you to remember. You're not powerless. Every step you take to protect your heart and stay steady on your feet is a gift to your future self. And guess what? We're just getting started. In the next part, we'll tackle 2 more silent threats, ones that affect how you breathe and think, and I'll share even more practical, doable steps to keep you thriving. But before we move on, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried a balance exercise that worked wonders? Or maybe you found a heart-healthy recipe you adore. Drop a comment below. Your ideas might inspire someone else on this journey. And if you're finding this helpful, consider hitting that subscribe button. Together, let's build a community focused on living well, not just living long. Let's take a deep breath together. Go ahead. Inhale slowly, fill your lungs, then let it out. Feels good, doesn't it? But what if that simple act started to feel like a struggle? For too many of us, breathing becomes harder as we age, and we brush it off as just part of getting older. But here's the truth. Your lungs are designed to last a lifetime, if you give them the care they deserve. Take my friend Carl. He was a lifelong smoker, quit in his 50s, thought he'd dodged the bullet. But by 70, even walking to the mailbox left him gasping. Turns out, years of ignoring little coughs and shortness of breath had quietly damaged his lungs. The good news? He turned it around. Started with daily walks, added more greens to his plate, and even got a small air purifier for his living room. Today, at 78, he's back to gardening and breathing easy. So let's talk about your lungs. They're not just passive airbags. They're living tissue that needs protection. First up, air quality. Did you know the air inside your home can be more polluted than outside? Dust, mold, even cleaning products can irritate your lungs over time. Try this. Open a window for 10 minutes each morning. Let fresh air circulate. And if you've got a furry friend, vacuum regularly. Pet dander loves to linger. Next, keep moving. When you sit too long, your lungs don't fully expand and mucus builds up. You don't need to run, just breathe deeply while you stretch or walk. Try this exercise. Sit tall, place your hands on your ribs, and inhale deeply through your nose. Feel your ribs expand? That's your lungs working at full power. Do this 5 times a day. It's like a mini workout for your airways. And don't forget vaccinations. The flu or pneumonia might sound like just a bug, but after 75, they can be devastating. A quick shot at your pharmacy could save you weeks in the hospital. Think of it as armor for your lungs. Now let's tackle something that strikes fast and leaves little warning. Stroke. Imagine this. You're sipping coffee, reading the paper, when suddenly your arm goes numb. Your speech slurs. Time slows. In that moment, every second counts. But here's what most people don't realize. Strokes aren't random. They're often decades in the making, shaped by choices we make every day. The biggest culprit? High blood pressure. It's like a silent tsunami eroding your arteries. My Aunt Margie ignored hers for years. "I feel fine," she'd say, until a stroke left half her body paralyzed. But here's the hope. Simple changes can lower your risk. Start with your plate. Swap that deli meat, loaded with salt, for grilled chicken or fish. Add a banana or sweet potato. Their potassium helps balance sodium. And hydrate. Dehydration thickens your blood, making clots more likely. Another lifesaver. Know the signs of a mini stroke? What doctors call a TIA. Sudden confusion, blurred vision, or a drooping face? Don't wait. Call 911, even if symptoms fade. TIAs are your body's smoke alarm, a warning to act now. And if you have an irregular heartbeat, like atrial fibrillation, work with your doctor. Blood thinners might sound scary, but they're far safer than a stroke. Here's the beautiful thing. Protecting yourself from strokes isn't about drastic overhauls. It's the small, daily wins, like using a spice jar instead of the salt shaker. Taking your blood pressure meds at the same time every day. Even laughing more. Yes, laughter really is medicine. It relaxes blood vessels and eases stress. And let's talk about movement again. You don't need a treadmill. Just march in place during TV commercials. 5 minutes here and there adds up, keeping your blood flowing smoothly. Remember, your brain thrives on oxygen-rich blood. Every step you take is like sending it a love letter. Now I want you to picture something. You at 85, sitting with loved ones, telling stories with clarity and joy. How do we make that vision real? By protecting not just your body, but your mind. In the next part, we'll dive into the final challenge, the slow fade of memory and sharpness, and I'll share surprising, science-backed ways to keep your brain as vibrant as your spirit. But before we get there, I'd love to hear your story. Have you found a trick to breathe easier? Or maybe you've overcome a health scare that taught you something valuable? Share it below. Your wisdom could light the way for someone else. And if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It lets me know to keep creating content that empowers you. Together, let's rewrite the story of aging. Let's take a moment to think about your favorite memory. Maybe it's your granddaughter's laugh, the smell of your mother's apple pie, or the day you finally retired to that lakeside cabin. Now imagine if those precious moments started to slip away, not because time moves forward, but because your mind isn't keeping up. That's the silent thief we're tackling today, cognitive decline. But here's the hope I want you to hold on to. Your brain isn't a static machine. It's a living, changing garden. And just like any garden, it thrives when tended with care. Take my Uncle Joe. At 82, he's sharper than most 50-year-olds. His secret? He never stopped learning. Last year, he taught himself Italian and started painting watercolors. Keeps the rust off my gears, he says, and science backs him up. Every new skill you learn builds new connections in your brain, like forging fresh trails in a forest. So how do you protect that brilliant mind of yours? Let's start with food. Your brain craves color. Those deep blues in blueberries, the bright orange of sweet potatoes, the green of spinach. They're packed with antioxidants that fight inflammation. Try this. Next time you're at the store, fill your cart with 3 colors you don't usually eat. Purple cabbage, golden beets. Experiment. Your taste buds and neurons will thank you. And don't forget the omega-3s. A handful of walnuts a day or a salmon fillet twice a week acts like oil for your brain's engine. But here's a tip. Pair them with a walk outside. Studies show physical activity pumps oxygen-rich blood to your brain, making those nutrients work even harder. Now let's talk about joy as medicine. Isolation is like kryptonite for your brain. Remember Mrs. Thompson from part 1, who strengthened her heart with walks? She also joined a weekly trivia group. Some days I forget my keys, she laughs, but I never forget Elvis's birthday. Jokes aside, socializing isn't just fun. It fires up parts of your brain that downtime leaves dormant. Can't meet in person? Call a friend during your morning coffee. Debate a crossword puzzle with your neighbor. Even chatting with your grocery clerk counts. Every conversation is a workout for your mind. Friends, we've covered a lot these past few days. Your heart, your balance, your breath, your circulation, and now your brilliant mind. But here's the thread connecting them all. Small choices compound. That evening walk? It's not just for your legs, it fuels your brain. The leafy greens on your plate? They're as much for your arteries as your neurons. Aging isn't about counting years, it's about making those years count. And you've already taken the hardest step, caring enough to learn. Maybe you'll start with one change, a daily stretch, a new veggie, a 5-minute brain game. That's enough, because progress isn't perfection, it's persistence. So let's rewrite the story. Let's stop calling 75 old age and start calling it chapter 25. A chapter where you're wiser, bolder, and more intentional than ever. You've earned this. You've survived decades of challenges life threw your way. Now it's your turn to thrive. Before we go, I'd love to hear your thriving story. What's one small change you've made or will make to invest in your future self? Share it below. Let's create a ripple of inspiration. And if this series has sparked even one aha moment, consider sharing it with someone you love. Together, we're not just adding years to life, we're adding life to years. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Keep blooming, keep growing, and remember, the best chapters are always ahead. If this resonated with you, hit like and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss our next video. Until then, keep cherishing every moment.